Hey there, beauty pros. If you're tired of juggling multiple tools to run your business, it's time to check out Gloss Genius, the all-in-one software designed specifically for salons and spas. Imagine managing bookings, payments, marketing, and team schedules all on one simple platform. Switching to Gloss Genius is effortless thanks to their free data transfer service. They handle the details so you can keep your focus on what you do best. With Gloss Genius, you can control your calendar and maximize your time with features like double booking, wait lists, and automated gap fills. Plus, checkout is quick and classy with a card reader that matches your salon's vibe, making payments easy for both you and your clients. Ready to elevate your business? Click on the link in my show notes and try Gloss Genius today. Trust me, once you make the switch, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. Transitioning to your natural gray hair can be an empowering and beautiful journey, but it's not without its challenges. If you've been coloring your hair for years, there are a few things to consider before embarking on this transformative process. We're going to discuss 5 common concerns that often come up when going gray, along with some tips to navigate them successfully. Welcome to All About Hair, the podcast for anyone who loves the hair industry. I'm your host, Danise Keilitz, a former stylist, educator, and owner of 4 award-winning salons with over 30 years of experience. Whether you're refining your skills or expanding your hair knowledge, you're in the right place. Join me for expert tips, industry insights, and practical advice to help you thrive in the world of hair. This is All About Hair. You've probably seen all over social media all these beautiful, beautiful women growing out their gray hair, especially since COVID happened. However, there's a lot of people out there that are trying to grow out their gray hair because they see all this on social media, and they're really discovering it's not as easy as it looks. You could either go in and pay someone to get you there gradually, or in some cases, one full day session, because it is quite the challenge to do so. Or you can let it grow out naturally. And today we're going to discuss some of the concerns with growing it out naturally and maybe give you some advice on what you can do about that. So number 1, the demarcation line. You know, that line that comes in as your natural gray grows in. The line between your colored and your natural hair can be very stark and very noticeable, almost looks like a skunk stripe. And it could feel pretty awkward for some of you, especially during those initial stages when you're not used to seeing roots. Strategies like blending highlights or lowlights to help soften that transition, that can really get you through. You could also do a gray blending. It's a very translucent, transparent, kind of semi-permanent color that where your whites are, they look like highlights, and where your darks are, it looks like lowlights, but it's got a little bit of tone to it. That could be something you might want to think about as well. Number 2, time commitment. Growing out gray hair requires patience because your hair only grows like half an inch a month. So depending on your hair length, it could take months or even years to fully transition. So embracing the journey and working with a stylist to maintain a polished look during this time is key. So say you have shoulder length hair and you start growing it out, you might want to consider taking your length a little bit shorter so you're not dealing with all the colored parts versus the gray parts. Maybe change up your hairstyle a little bit during this journey, or maybe get layers, and that might help with that as well if you're not wanting to do any blending highlights or lowlights. Also consider number 3, texture changes. Gray hair often has a different texture than pigmented hair, and sometimes it's coarser, drier, or more prone to frizz. So you might notice that difference in the 2 areas of your hair. So adopting a moisturizing and smoothing hair care routine is essential to keeping your grays looking healthy and vibrant. And you might want to consider maybe a hair oil to give you even some more moisture into coarse gray hair. You might want to just put it on where your gray hair is showing. You might want to put it on everywhere. Number 4, something you might want to consider as well is social or emotional adjustments. Yeah, that's a thing. Letting go of years of hair color can bring up mixed emotions from excitement to insecurity. And some of you might feel a little unsure on how others will perceive your new look. Support and styling guidance can help you feel confident as you embrace your natural beauty. So ask your stylist how you can style your hair differently. You don't want to just wear it straight down. You don't want to wear it just in a ponytail. You need some kind of guidance to help you still feel confident and feel good and not feel like you're not taking care of yourself, because that's not what it is. So that leads me to number 5, styling adjustments. So natural gray hair can change the way you approach your styling. Your current wardrobe, your makeup, or your hairstyle preferences might need some slight adjustments to complement the new tones in your hair. Now, let me tell you a story about this. This actually happened, it's happened to a lot of my clients. They grow out their gray hair and they're going to think they're going to love it. Think about this. As we age, our skin tone changes too. Okay, so sometimes when we grow out our gray hair and it's a very ashy gray, and then you have kind of an ashen, if you will, skin tone, it doesn't really complement each other. So you almost feel like, whoa, do I need to wear more makeup? And, that goes against what you're trying to do. You're trying to be more natural, less maintenance all over. If you're like me, less maintenance on your makeup routine as well. So what I always suggest is a very, very translucent gray blending method of taking a demi-permanent color, maybe a beige, maybe level 8, just depends on where you're starting, mixing that with clear so it's very translucent, putting that all over your hair. And so what happens is it's almost like wearing translucent pink nail polish, very nude, very sheer. Same thing, almost like pantyhose. If you remember wearing pantyhose, you can still see through everything. It's still your hair. It just adds just a little bit of tone to it. So it really looks a lot better on your skin tone. And the wonderful thing is that it just fades off gradually. You will never see a line of demarcation. It adds a ton of shine to your hair, and your stylist can actually play with the tone of it. It doesn't have to be beige. You can actually do it with just clear color and add maybe your hair looks a little brassy. Well, then you would want your stylist to put in some violet tones in there to balance out the yellow or the brassiness. There's all kinds of things. It's just using the color wheel. It's using common sense and then mixing it with clear, so it's very, very translucent, and make sure it is a demi-permanent or even a semi-permanent color. You do not want to use anything that's going to lift your color out of your hair or lighten your hair. You don't want to change the level of your hair. All you want to do is put shine, put a little bit of tone on top of your hair. So just think about that. Ask your stylist about that. More and more hairstylists are offering this service out in the salon. And if you're a stylist and you're not offering it, you might want to consider it. And if you have questions on how that actually works, get in touch with me. I do not mind. Let's review those 5 concerns with growing out natural gray hair. Number 1, the demarcation line. Yep, that skunk line. You're either going to have to live through it or have a strategy like blending highlights or lowlights to soften that transition while it's growing out. The time commitment. It takes a long time to grow out the hair, longer than you probably think. The texture changes. Might want to consider using more moisturizing and smoothing hair care routine. Your social or your emotional adjustments. Yeah, getting used to that. What are you going to be looking like, right? How are your friends? How are your peers going to perceive you? And styling adjustments. You might want to try a new fresh hairstyle. I have a twin sister. Y'all know that. And she's 100% gray and she loves it. And it looks spectacular on her. If you want to see her hair, I have a YouTube video. I cut her hair. You can look through there. It's on a layered bob or graduated bob. She's got beautiful hair. And so sometimes just the styling adjustment of modernizing your haircut to go with the gray hair, it actually makes it even look better. Because the last thing you want is, I'm doing this in quotes, an old lady haircut with gray hair. You don't want that. You're just wanting to have lower maintenance, I'm assuming. If you happen to live in my area, I would love the opportunity if you're ready to take the first step towards embracing your natural gray. Let's create some kind of customized transition for you. If you want some more information on that, I have a YouTube video. You can contact me. You can get in touch with me. You can, on my Instagram, you can email me, go to my website. Make sure all those links are linked below. And I really appreciate you being here today. So as always remember, when you know better, you do better. And go out and make it a great day. Thanks for tuning in to All About Hair. Here's what I'd love for you to do next. Take a screenshot of this episode and share it on your Instagram stories. Tag me at Danise Keilitz so I can see you're listening. Sharing helps more people discover the podcast. And if you're really enjoying the show, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps others find us. Thanks again. I'm Danise Keilitz, and remember, when you know better, you do better. See you next week.